Alright. I should say good night or good evening, my fellow Celtic fans, my dear subscribers. Here's your Glasgow genuine Scottish rebel, Celtic Maddie, Ambassador of Scotland. I love it. So, are you buzzing? I was supposed to record my next video on Friday, but alright, I just recorded on a Friday because I'll be commenting Scotland's election, alright? So my next video after this will be on a Friday, so 8th of May. I'll be commenting on, again, the wee analysis on, of course, the Scottish election, Scotland's Parliament elections day. So are you buzzing as I am? Are you buzzing as I am before that election? So I'd love to. I got a wee message for you, for all those living in magical bubbles, all those doubters, all those voters of no for Scotland, all those writing comments, which seriously are harmful for Scotland. I mean, I should put it that way. I got some comments under my posts on Facebook and some of my YouTube channel videos concerning Scotland's independence. Oh, that the UK, as I mentioned, that UK didn't do any harm to Scotland, or Scotland doesn't need independence, or we are alright, we just fucking alright, we doesn't need independence. We should stay in a union of UK, England. I mean, what? Here's my message to you all doubters and voters of no. So, there's something in those words that doesn't just speak, it aches me. It carries a quiet, simmering exhaustion. That so many of us have felt that for years. It kind of builds slowly in that. So, layer upon a layer, until one day it's no longer quiet at all. As I read them, I don't stand at a distance for them. I feel them because this is not a theory to me, man. This is lived reality unfolding in real time right in front of my eyes. Let me tell you that in my lifetime I have watched Westminster governance not simply stumble but repeatedly expose its own cracks. Cracks that have widened into something far more serious, man. It's not just flawed, it's not a system that too often feels detached, accountable, and at times almost surreal in its dysfunction. You look back at decisions like that, Eric War, and you wonder how a nation like Scotland was ever meant to simply not alone to carry the consequences of choices that never reflected her voice. All came years of austerity. Not as an abstract policy, but something that carved into communities and into livelihood and to dignity itself. And then, if that wasn't enough, we're dragged through Brexit. I still find myself shaking my head at it. A decision Scotland did not vote for, yet one whose consequences she must endure daily. Economic uncertainty, immigration policy crisis, fractured relationships, opportunities quietly slipping away, or imposed or external. And when the pandemic struck and it plummeted clarity and leadership were needed most, what we saw instead of deepened that sense of disbelief. I felt chaotic, reactive, inconsistent. And all I reinforced one simple, uncomfortable truth. This system isn't built with Scotland at its heart. And that's why the comparisons matter. Just look at places like Norway, Belgium, or Switzerland. I don't see perfection. I'm no naive. But I do see nations of comparable or smaller scale making decisions for themselves, managing their own resources, shaping their own futures with a level of accountability. That feels direct, tangible, real, and I can't help but think, why not Scotland? Why should Scotland, with all her natural wealth, her talents, her history, her strength and power, her potential, her all natural beauty and charm, with rich resources, continue to operate within constraints that feel increasingly artificial? That image of Scotland with one arm tied behind her back, it stays with me because it's not just poetic, it's a painfully accurate. For decades, it feels like every step forward has come with a quiet tightening elsewhere. Devolution was meant to empower. And yet it was so. Often it feels like carefully measured boundary, a line not to be crossed, a reminder that control ultimately sits elsewhere. And this is where my patience, let me tell you this, begins to wear thin. Because alongside of all this, all the evidence, all the lived experience, there's a chorus of voices dismissing independence. Aye, there's a chorus of voices dismissing independence as if it's some fanciful dream. And honestly, I find it infuriating. To be honest, I read my comments on my Facebook page under my post concerning Scotland's independence, so as on my YouTube channel videos also on Scotland's independence. The same tired, recycled pish. And I think, where is this coming from? Because it certainly isn't coming from a place of understanding. So many of these opinions are thrown out with absolute certainty by people who haven't engaged with Scotland's history, who don't grasp the economic arguments, who haven't even tried to understand the democratic imbalance at play. And yet there they are, these people, there they are, speaking as if they hold some definitive truth. It's outrageous, man. Pure outrageous. Because denying Scotland the right to independence, especially now, isn't a neutral stance. It's not careful or cautious pragmatic, no. It is, whether people admit it or not, a refusal to support Scotland in real, meaningful terms. It's saying, stay where you are, accept what you're given, don't ask for more. And I can't accept that, I will not accept that. I'm genuinely, deeply tired of seeing Scotland reduced in that way. Tired of watching her potential questioned by those who don't even understand it. That's the strange, almost willful blindness in some of the arguments, like people are clinging to a version of reality that simply doesn't exist in the mirror. A comfy illusion where everything is stable, where a union works perfectly, where Scotland's voice is fully respected. But that's not what I see. That's not what I experience. What I see is a nation repeatedly overruled. What I feel is a constant tension, the sense of being held back, restrained, managed. And I keep coming back to this. Scotland isn't incapable. Scotland isn't too small. Scotland isn't dependent. Scotland is ready. Ready to take responsibility for her own future. Ready to manage her own resources. Ready to make decisions that reflect the will of her people. Not the priorities of a distant political system that has time and time again shown itself to be misaligned with her needs. So, when people say, not for Scotland, voting no, not now, I have to ask, when then? When, in your opinion, it's the time for Scotland to be independent? After how many more decisions imposed? After how many more missed opportunities? After how many more moments where Scotland's voice is ignored? Because to me, it feels very clear. No is not reckless. It's not premature. It's not unnecessary. And I see that not just with frustration, but with conviction. With that deep, steady belief that Scotland deserves better than this halfway existence. She deserves the chance to stand fully, freely, without restraint. So now is the moment. Now, not out of impulse, but out of necessity. Not out of anger alone, but out of clarity. Scotland deserves more than just constraint. She deserves the full measure of her own potential. And the right to finally fully stand on her own terms. For one, I'm done pretending that anything less is acceptable. And I'm done pretending that anything less is acceptable. I say it once again. So, here's my appeal, my message. I'm still buzzing about that election on the 7th of May, because I'll be doing, apart from that, I'll be doing a wee analysis on a Friday. I want to encourage you or give you one last message to vote for SNP's majority together with and Scottish Greens, because these are pro-independence parties. So please, with that majority, it's a independence certainty. So please, if you truly love Scotland, just choose right on the 7th of May. Everything for Scotland to be free, to be independent. Have a pure, lovely evening, and see you on a Friday.